Imagine waking up, and the first thing you feel isn't a heavy blanket of dread or the frantic need for caffeine, but a quiet, sharp clarity. For years, you've been told that your mood swings, your late afternoon crashes, and that persistent brain fog are just part of being a busy adult. But what if I told you that you haven't been meeting your real self yet? Most people spend their entire lives operating through a distorted chemical lens. When your hormones are out of balance, your brain is essentially trying to run a high-definition software on a flickering low-voltage power grid. But the moment those levels stabilize, the moment you reach true bioharmony, a silent transformation occurs within your skull that changes the very texture of your reality. The first thing you notice is the silence. When your cortisol, the stress hormone, is finally balanced, the background hum of anxiety that you've grown used to simply evaporates. This isn't just a feeling. It's a physical restructuring of your focus. High cortisol keeps your amygdala, the brain's fear center, on high alert, making every minor inconvenience feel like a survival threat. When it drops into the Goldilocks zone, your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, takes back the reins. ULL. Find yourself looking at a mounting to-do list and feeling strategy instead of panic. You aren't just calmer. You are cognitively faster, because your brain is no longer wasting 40% of its energy scanning for non-existent predators. Then comes the stabilization of your internal clock. When your insulin and glucose levels stop behaving like a heart-pounding roller coaster, the brain's reward center resets. You very likely spend years trapped in the dopamine-glucose loop, a spike of sugar followed by a crash, leading to that 3 p.m. irritability. When your metabolic hormones are balanced, your brain begins to thrive on steady, sustained fuel. Suddenly, your willpower feels unlimited. It's not that you've become more disciplined overnight, it's that your brain is finally receiving the consistent energy it needs to resist impulses. The constant food noise and the nagging cravings for cheap hits of dopamine vanish, replaced by a deep, grounded sense of satiety. For women, the alignment of estrogen and progesterone feels like a literal clearing of the windows. When these hormones are balanced, your brain's neuroplasticity, its ability to form new connections, is at its peak. Verbal fluency increases. Your memory becomes more reliable, and that tip-of-a-tongue syndrome disappears. For men, optimized testosterone doesn't just build muscle. It builds spatial confidence and mental grit. It's the difference between seeing a challenge and wanting to hide, versus seeing a challenge and feeling an innate biological drive to solve it. This is the neurochemical foundation of what psychologists call the flow state. Perhaps the most profound change happens at night. With balanced hormones, your brain finally masters the great cleanup. Your glymphatic system, the brain's waste removal service, only works efficiently when your hormones signal a state of true safety. You don't just sleep, you recover. You wake up with a brain that has been chemically scrubbed of the day's metabolic debris. Over time, this hormonal balance protects your mitochondria, the tiny power plants in your cells, ensuring that your cognitive longevity isn't just a hope for the future, but a reality for today. You aren't just fixing a problem. You are finally unlocking the version of your brain that was always meant to be in charge.